The first time I chipped the Berserk implant, it fundamentally reshaped the way I saw Cyberpunk, maybe even more so than when I first installed a Sandever stand. When you can see red and leap around with your gorilla arms like King Von on crack, that's how you know you've got something special on your hands. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand the ins and outs of Cyberpunk's Berserk, but also how it enables Cyberpunk to absolutely nail something that most games mess up. I want people to see just how fun the Berserk is, and how it represents something greater in game. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to share the best thing you can do with a Berserk, so stick around. Using a Berserk in Cyberpunk consists of pressing a button, turning the screen red, aggressively rushing people down, and caving their fucking skulls in. It's present in a variety of builds, which is simply a byproduct of the freedom that the developers entrust into the hands of the player. The first time I used a Berserk and punched a dude's head off, I literally said out loud, "This is so cool." For a game to make me not only think that, but also reflexively verbalize it is something genuinely special. There's a wide variety of different Berserks you can get from various Ripperdocs, but the best ones are all of them? They all have unique circumstances where they are the best implant to get the job done. It's all about empowering the player having fun, and what the player feels when eviscerating gongs. And by the way, this video won't just be praise. There are some things I dislike about the Berserk, but we'll get into that a bit later. Please subscribe. The reason the Berserk is slightly underutilized is simply because it's the Sandy's little brother. But those who do use it hold it in such high regard because it feels so good to use compared to just how much slop is present in contemporary AAA games. For every Berserk with its uniqueness and its freedom enabling gameplay, there's also a trillion other games with a bland upgrade that gives you the stupidest little % stat buffs and nothing else of genuine novelty. For example, a game which I love a lot and have beat 3 different times has a rage mode similar to Cyberpunk's Berserk that you unlock at a certain point in the game to aid you in battles. If you're on the harder difficulties, you're seriously gonna need it too. And you know what it is? A simple little button push after a meter is full that gives you 3 free kills in what is essentially a fucking cutscene. Where Cyberpunk has a Berserk that gives you a rage mode, a Sandever stand that slows time, a cyber deck that completely changes every encounter, and a chrome compressor for losers. Other games have a plethora of items with gutted potential due to the mindset of complacency and safety being the profit maker at the top of the AAA market. Go into the comments and tell me your favorite game. I bet my left nut most of them won't be AAA. I'll put my favorite down too. Join my Discord. Let's bring some more comparisons for the sake of addressing what needs to occur. Take something like Deus Ex Human Revolution, for example. They had a perfected energy system, but completely fumbled it because they wanted to cater to a wider audience. Initially, your energy was a scarce resource that contributed to tense moments and fun gameplay, but they added an infinitely recharging bottom energy bar which completely broke the mechanic down and took away all the friction it provided. I literally have a video going into depth on how they completely fumbled this insanely fun mechanic right at the very last second to cater to a wider demographic. Same thing with Cyberpunk. It's not a perfect game, and although the Berserk is good, a comment that I got recently widened my eyes to the fact that Cyberpunk's enemy types are seriously lacking. There's monks that can't be scanned, which could have been sneaky enemies as they wouldn't appear any other way than if you directly saw them. How about enemies with Berserks? They could have had enemies that you genuinely wanted to keep stealth for, so that they can't pop their Berserks for invulnerability. Just another example of games with squandered potential, whether it be for AAA mollycoddling purposes or just general missed potential. Fuck, it makes me sad. It's not that these games are bad, it's that they're genuinely an inch away from being that much more amazing. And just don't take that last step. And that's what I want to leave you with by the end of this video. At the end of the day, the reason Cyberpunk's Berserk matters so much isn't just because it's cool or flashy or lets you turn into some roid-raging chrome junkie. It matters because it proves something that most modern AAA games are terrified to admit. Fun works, fun gets a decent chunk of change, and fun is what we need. Not safe fun, not plus 10% crit chance fun, not press X to win fun. I'm talking about real, player-first, passionately implemented, freedom-driven fun. Because when you use something like the Berserk in Cyberpunk 2077, its percent stat buffs in tandem with opportunities, new approaches, and a pathway to fun promotes some of the best feelings you can ever feel in gaming. And that's where most AAA games fall apart. Not because the devs are bad, not because the gamers don't care, but because somewhere along the line the priority shifted from what does the player feel to what's the safest way to get this into the most people's hands. So instead of mechanics that open the doors to new feelings, we get mechanics that promote dormancy and shut them completely. What the Berserk does is it turns every encounter into a sandbox instead of a checklist. It turns a how do I beat this into a how do I want to go about beating this. And once you experience that, it's very hard to go back to other, sloppier games. The point I'm trying to make is that these games can be so much more. And Cyberpunk, for all its flaws, proves that. It shows that even in a system obsessed with safe profits and repeatable formulas, you can still take a risk on something genuinely fun and have it pay off. All in all, I just want developers and top AAA decision makers to see just how fun some of these mechanics are and how they can improve others to make everyone happy. If you liked that video, be sure to smash all the buttons. It may seem insignificant to you, but it really helps me out. And by the way, I have a track record of responding to literally every comment, so I challenge you to leave your thoughts down below. And by the way, if you genuinely care about games with interesting and fun mechanics, check out this playlist where I deep dive into your favorite games. Goodbye.